Welcome to The Multi-Passionate Creative, a podcast where we talk about life as a creative, being multi-passionate, and learning graphic design. Today we're going to be talking about what to do about naysayers. Usually I just write an outline for each episode, but for this topic, I just started writing word for word because that is what was coming. And I ended up writing like 4 or 5 pages of content just word for word. So I'm going to just read that, so if it sounds weird, that's why. Entrepreneurs will always have those people in their lives that just don't get it. They don't think your career path is legitimate, they can't understand why you would want to be doing the things you're doing, and they like to remind you of all the statistics surrounding the failure rates of entrepreneurs and small businesses. Most of them mean well. They want what's best for you and they're concerned for you because they can't see what you see. They don't have your eyes. They aren't creative-minded. They aren't entrepreneurs. They are most likely happy and secure in their 9-to-5 and can't understand why that's not enough for you. They don't know what goes on in your mind. They can't see the vision that's driving you. So give them some slack. Let them express their concern. Listen, but don't let it discourage you. Hear them out, but don't let it smother the fire inside you. Take what they say and scan it for any caution that would be useful to heed, but remember that they aren't in this world of ours, and they don't understand it as well as we do. Now that I'm done with that little pep talk, let's dive into some practical tips for what to do when someone doesn't understand your career path as an entrepreneur. First of all, an entrepreneur can be many different things. By definition, an entrepreneur is someone who, quote, organizes, manages, and assumes the risks of a business or enterprise, end quote, as stated in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. These days, that could be a CEO of a wildly successful Silicon Valley startup, or a YouTuber who just got monetized and is starting to have to deal with the business side of having a YouTube channel. No matter what you do under the title of entrepreneur, people are probably going to raise their eyebrows because entrepreneur is more or less synonymous with risk, and most people don't like taking risks, at least not when it comes to their livelihood. So if there is someone in your life that is doubting your career path as an entrepreneur, here are some things you can do. First, ignore it. If you're at a family gathering and Aunt Sally asks you what you're up to these days, and you say the word entrepreneur, and she instantly makes a facial expression you wish you could forget, chances are you can probably just ignore it and move on with your life. But if your parents have you sitting on the couch and they're expressing concern over your career choice, you probably need to deal with the issue. Number 2, explain it. I don't mean give them the whole rundown of each business move you're going to make along with your projected profit, sales, and performance reports. Unless you can break it down in less than 5 minutes, or you think they would honestly be interested to hear it. No, I mean show them that you have a plan, and what you'll do if that plan fails, and that you're not just blindly throwing a dart and hoping for a bullseye. They probably just want to know that you'll be able to support yourself as an entrepreneur. You're their child. They want what's best for you. Number 3, prove it. Whether it's your parents, your friends, or Aunt Sally, no one can argue with numbers. If you're already seeing some success, no matter how small it may seem, maybe it would help ease the concern if you shared some of those numbers. Or if you're just starting out and there isn't much success yet, combine the first tip and this one, and ignore it at first, and then maybe next Christmas Aunt Sally should hear about the amazing growth your business has experienced over the last year. Or maybe you won't have to say anything at all. Maybe she'll see an ad for your business, or see someone resharing your content on Facebook. Sometimes the best thing to do is just let the success speak for itself. Now you might be asking, what if I already bought into the doubt and now I'm not sure I want to keep going with my business idea or brand? First of all, I want you to stop, take a deep breath, and zoom out a little bit. That seed of doubt, that was just one person's opinion. What about all the people in your entrepreneur friend group? And if you don't have one, maybe that's part of your problem. What about all the people who are successful entrepreneurs? Oh, well, they say 80% of businesses fail within the first year. Yeah, if you let that statistic scare you, you're putting yourself in that 80% before you even give yourself a chance. What would happen if you aimed for that 20%? Told yourself every day, I'm going to be part of that 20% that make it. Yes, you might still end up in the 80%, but at least you gave it your all and went down swinging. And what if you do make it to that 20%? You just greatly increased your odds of surviving the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and even 10th year. Don't let statistics scare you. You don't have to live by them. Okay, that is the end of my word-for-word synopsis that I wrote down the other day. Let me just say, if you've ever had someone doubt your career path to your face, say that it's not legitimate, or anything like that, first of all, I'm sorry. Second of all, don't believe it and don't dwell on it. Yes, there are going to be a lot of people in your life who do not understand. what it is that you're doing. But that's okay, because there still are a bunch of people who do. And as I said earlier, if you don't already have a friend group of fellow entrepreneurs, maybe that's something you should look into getting, even if it's just a Facebook group. The point is, you need community. You can't do this on your own. You need people to be there beside you, supporting you, helping you, even if it's just a YouTube channel that is more of a community feel. That could even help. But don't try and go this alone. Don't isolate yourself because some of the people in your life are doubting it. Find the people who will support you and spend time around them. And yes, when someone expresses doubt about what you're doing, it can instill doubt in your own mind. At that point, just keep moving. Don't give up. For example, where I am right now, I'm not making money from anything that I'm doing online yet. So there is a seed of doubt in my mind that perhaps I won't be able to make money doing these things. But I'm not going to let that stop me, because I know that it might take a while before I start making money. But if I quit now, then I'm just making sure that I'm not going to ever make any money with doing it. The quote for this week is, "Unsuccessful people make decisions based on their current situations. Successful people make decisions based on where they want to be." This is really important. It's the concept of visualizing where you want to go. Jeff Olson has been talking about this more in The Slight Edge as I've been reading on, this concept of visualizing what you want for your life. Because setting goals is all well and good, but if you just have this abstract goal that's way in the future, you're not going to be motivated to reach it. But if you visualize what exactly you want, it'll be much easier to motivate yourself to get there. I guess it just comes down to focusing on doing things for the benefit of the future, not gratifying yourself in the here and now, which can be applied to many different areas of life. And that doesn't mean don't live in the moment. You can still live in the moment in the sense that you're appreciating every moment and making the most of every moment, but you're not like so tunnel vision on here and now that you aren't even thinking about planning for the future. That quote reminded me of something that Jeff Olson drives home time and time again in The Slight Edge. It goes something like this: "Successful people do what unsuccessful people aren't willing to do." And it's kind of the same idea. Successful people are future-minded. They take the time to do the little things that seem mundane and like they're not going to make that much of a difference. They do those things every day because they know that this compounding interest is going to build up over time. So have that successful mindset of thinking about and planning for the future, but also living each moment to the fullest and making decisions based on how they will impact the future, and realizing that little tiny actions completed every day or not completed every day will either make you more successful or less successful. That's another thing that he mentions a lot in The Slight Edge. He'll be talking about some little concept of something you could do every day, and he says, it's so easy to do these things every day, but it's also so easy not to do them. So I challenge you this week, find 2 small practices that you can do every single day to get closer to whatever goals you identified in my previous episode about goal setting, and then start doing them every day. Set reminders if you need to, put it on your to-do list, whatever you have to do. Start doing these little actions every single day, and I promise you will make progress, and you will start to see all these other little things that you could be doing to get closer to other goals that you have. And it's really just this mindset of every single day sticking pennies in that piggy bank. Progress that seems really insignificant in the moment, but you know that if you keep doing it every single day, eventually that's going to be a lot of pennies. And you're going to wake up one day and realize that you are very close to your goal that seemed so far away at one point in time.